Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, change makers, guardians of nature, friends, good evening. I'm honored to welcome you to the 2025 World Future Policy Award ceremony. My name is Lena Denta, and I'm delighted to be your co-host this evening. And I'm joined by my wonderful colleague, Augustina Schick, and we're both here representing the World Future Council. We're thrilled to be here with you tonight at the IUCN Congress to celebrate, together with our partners IUCN and IPU, outstanding policies paving the way for living in harmony with nature and future generations. At the same time, like all of you, we are deeply saddened by the passing of an outstanding, brave woman and our esteemed honorary counselor, Dr. Jane Goodall, who, with her wisdom and energy, showed us all that humans and animals are part of the unique nature of this planet. She pioneered and paved the way for a paradigm shift towards living in harmony with nature and all living beings. So I would like now to welcome Nishan Gunasekera, CEO of the World Future Council, to share with us his thoughts on her work and influence. Nishan, may I welcome you to the stage?
Thank you, Lena. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Jane Goodall has been repeated from the very beginning of this Congress, and we understood from day one that she was supposed to open it. She was supposed to grace this occasion as well. I'm here to tell you that she is with us, and she will continue to be with us in this journey. And that's the power of the wonderful work that all of you are doing, that I know Jane is here smiling with all of us. Dr. Jane Goodall, as an honorary counselor of the World Future Council, was able to transcend what we thought was impossible, transcend the human-nature relationship that is in most of systems we think impossible. And she leaves this incredible legacy of hope. And I'm so delighted to welcome all of you this evening on behalf of the World Future Council, not only to take this legacy forward alongside all the memories of those who informs our journey today, but also to discuss incredibly inspirational journeys that some of you here are taking in your own right through the World Future Policy Award on Living in Harmony with Nature, in its 14th edition. And in this slide, I would finally want to share that the blessings of our Maori grandmother, Pauline Tangira, who sends her blessings, is with us. The blessings of our founder, Jacob von Wexkull, is with us. So Lena, Dr. Jane Goodall, and the blessings of indigenous wisdom informs our presence today as we embark on an incredible journey that we move towards being part of nature.
Thank you so much, Nishan. Please stay with us because Augustina has some questions for you in a few minutes. But I'm now also thrilled to welcome an exceptional expert and leader with us who enriches our award presence, of course. She's a lawyer, founder, and executive director of the Center for Environmental Ethics and Law, which is an international organization that works towards advancing ethics in policymaking. She's the current chair of the Ethics Specialist Group of the IUCN World Commission on Environmental Law, and she's an expert for the UN Harmony with Nature program. She was also one of our distinguished jury members. Please welcome with me warmly, Professor Katie Gweisdon. Over to you.
Well, that's quite the welcome. Thank you. It is truly an honor to be here, not just for my friend Nishan, but for this amazing organization, the World Future Council, that has such natural alignments with IUCN. Its partner here. So much of what we do with IUCN is a counter to the harm that we see in the world and how to stop that harm. And it's often the result from colonial legacies, right? From policy violence, from sexism, racism, predation, exploitation that we still see today. So it is a counter, a direct counter to policy violence to have policies of living in harmony with nature. And it's not a unilateral top-down approach either, right? It's a breadbasket. It's a basket approach. It's rights of nature, earth jurisprudence, the mixture with human rights, even humanitarian law. All of these things together is the only way that we can get to a right place forward. And we are at a time of geopolitical crisis. And like any time in my life, and even when I teach international law, international criminal law, human rights law, you know, we always talk about this evolution of conflict and these new geopolitical alliances. And we are not in a time that we have seen in modern history. So I think that we need people like Neshan, we need organizations like the World Future Council, and we need partnerships like IUCN. IUCN was founded after World War II. It was founded as a response, a counter to the atrocities of World War II. And it saw a path out of those atrocities to entangle ourselves with conservation as a way forward, right? And that's something that we cannot forget, that they saw a path to peace through conservation. So I'm so honored to be here. I'm so honored that IUCN is a partner with the World Future Council, and I'm humbled to be in this space. So I look forward to all the awards, the nominees. It was not easy at all. So it's my true honor. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Katie. I understand from my colleagues also who worked closely with you on the World Future Policy Award this year that the jury had, of course, thorough and detailed discussions, and that, in fact, the decisions were unanimous, which should say something about the strength of the policies we're going to learn about just shortly. Augustina, I know that you have now a discussion planned with Neshan, so over to you.
Yes, definitely. So good evening also from my side, and welcome everyone. So when it comes to the World Future Policy Award, there's a story to be told behind it. And I'm pretty sure you would like to know more about the World Future Council and one of its flagships. So yeah, who can actually tell us more than our CEO, Neshan Gunasekera? So, Neshan, you have been with the World Future Council from its inception. What makes it unique for you?
Wow, thank you, Augustina. What does the uniqueness of the World Future Council? I think the World Future Council, after many years of consultation, was established in the new millennium with the hope to create a global governance framework for the centuries to come, looking at a gap in international legal systems as well as governance systems for long term. We're focusing on the rights of future generations and nature. And it's an incredible privilege to be the CEO of the World Future Council. And that, for me, is a huge responsibility to steward this process.
Okay. And let me ask you, what makes an award-winning policy? And why is this year's World Future Policy Award, Living in Harmony with Nature and Future Generations, so timely?
That's wonderful. I think that's a better question for my friend Katie, who's gone through the process. The policy awards go through a strenuous consideration under what we call the 7 principles of future just policymaking. And we have Professor Marie-Claire Courtinier-Seger and others who are council members who have been working on this for a very, very long time. And as Katie said, it's been a process to consider this. And this year's focus, again, I'm using Katie's words, it's an incredibly important time and passage of time this century. Living in harmony with nature and future generations. The time has arrived where processes at the International Court of Justice with young people from the Pacific changing the status quo on how we do politics and how policy frameworks inform that discussion. So it's a very unique time in this century that we're recognizing these wonderful awards and policies for living in harmony with nature and future generations. In my own words, we call it living in principles of earth trusteeship.
Thank you, Neshan, for these fascinating insights.
Thank you, Augustina.
I think we see intergenerational dialogue happening here, actually, already on this stage. I mean, I think we all would recognize that our global shared community right now urgently requires innovative and inclusive policy solutions that will redefine our role and understanding in how we live within nature and the natural world. The good news is these kinds of policies already exist and they work. And so tonight we're going to celebrate some of these policies that go beyond short-term fixes and look a long way into the future for generations. The policies that we'll get to know about this evening are role models, and they give hope, and they continue, in fact, in their practice to celebrate the hope that Dr. Jane Goodall gave to all of us through her work. So let's together catch an initial glimpse of what we have in store for us this evening.
Nature can live without us, but we cannot live without her. The World Future Council envisions a healthy planet and just, peaceful societies, today and for future generations of all life on Earth. It is humankind's responsibility to respect the integrity of all Earth systems and act as Earth trustees and good ancestors. Through the World Future Policy Award, we celebrate exemplary laws and policies that contribute to this vision becoming reality. Each year, we spotlight one urgent theme, receiving nominations from across the globe, and tell the stories of the people and visions behind these policies.
This year's award goes beyond urgent. It is existential. We need nothing less than a paradigm shift to protect nature, Mother Earth, the foundation of all life, and the very basis of our existence.
Nature and future generations of all life deserve a seat at the table now. Join us in celebrating the policies and the people that shape a future where every being can thrive.
So let's start the conversation and celebration now, also with a recap of the 13 outstanding finalist policies, because it starts at a big group and it then goes down to the awardees tonight. So we had 41 nominations from 21 countries across all continents. And for that, our research team and expert international jury selected 13 policies as finalists. And from these, the jury then determined the winners. All 13 finalist policies embody innovation, inclusivity, and effectiveness in advancing the concept of living in harmony with nature and future generations. And we thought it very important to acknowledge the shortlisted policies of the 2025 WFPA as well. As we discuss, absolutely. Each of these finalists, of course, represents not just a solution to a pressing challenge, but also a beacon of hope, resilience, and leadership. And this proves that change for the better is, of course, possible. And as we discuss how to protect and preserve the world's richest natural heritages, I am honored to welcome to the stage Dr. Christopher Dunn. Christopher is Executive Director of Cornell Botanic Gardens and current chair of the IUCN National Committee for the USA. He is a well-known expert on biodiversity, and his involvement with IUCN is deep, enthusiastic, and based on building consensus and collaboration. Welcome to you.
Well, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the World Future Policy Award 2025 goes to the National Environmental Management Biodiversity, NEMBA, of South Africa. Everyone has the right to an environment that is not harmful to their health or well-being, and to have the environment protected for the benefit of present and future generations. These powerful words from South Africa's constitution form the moral foundation of the National Environmental Management Biodiversity Act of 2004. NEMBA is South Africa's flagship biodiversity law and one of the world's most pioneering frameworks for protecting nature. It embodies a vision of justice, ecological, social, and intergenerational, and transforms a constitutional right into living reality through a science-based and participatory system that protects one of the world's and the planet's richest natural heritages. NEMBA pioneered innovative measures for threatened and invasive species, introduced fair benefit sharing, and established the South African National Biodiversity Institute, or SANBI, which has become a cornerstone for independent science and evidence-based decision-making. And I just have to throw in a personal note that I know people very well from SANBI, and I have been impressed with the work that they have been doing for decades. Now, even amidst challenges, the country continues to lead with determination, embedding climate resilience, sustainable financing, and inclusive governance into a biodiversity governance, and makes NEMBA a global inspiration. It reminds us that protecting biodiversity is not only an environmental duty, it's a constitutional promise to both present and future generations of all living beings. So today, we celebrate this extraordinary achievement. So please join me in warmly congratulating all those who have contributed to the National Environmental Management Biodiversity Act for their unwavering commitment to nature, to shaping a just, sustainable, and biodiverse future for present and future generations of all living things. Now, whilst we will now see a short video about the policy, I invite Mr. Sidney Nkosi, Head of Department of Forestry, Fisheries, and the Environment, to join us on the stage. Please welcome Mr. Nkosi.
South Africa is a biodiversity hotspot, one of only 17 megadiverse countries on Earth. Yet, its natural world faces grave challenges, with 80% of ecosystems under threat and 60% of coastal habitats endangered. The National Environmental Management Biodiversity Act, or NEMBA, adopted in 2004, is one of the world's most ambitious biodiversity frameworks.
South Africans have a constitutional right to an ecological, healthy environment, which means everyone, including myself, has the right to a clean, safe, and healthy ecosystem.
NEMBA protects ecosystems, species, and genetic diversity while promoting equitable benefit sharing for communities. It recognizes indigenous knowledge and traditions and empowers citizens and businesses as custodians of the natural world.
For me, it means being mindful of my choices and actions in relation to the future generation. They deserve to inherit a South Africa where ecosystems thrive and natural resources are protected and restored. Thank you.
NEMBA could become a global model for rights-based biodiversity governance for current and future generations.
Mr. Nkosi, you're welcome to the pedestal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Program Director. I thought at some point this time will never come. I had to wait until this old to receive the award. Distinguished guests, I'm standing here today marks a moment that is vital for the reaffirmation of our shared commitment to a fair, equitable, and sustainable future for all. At a time when the world faces unprecedented environmental challenges, it is more urgent than ever to shine a spotlight on policies that can inspire transformative action. As a delegate of the Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment of South Africa, I believe that the National Environmental Management Biodiversity Act, what we call NEMBA, symbolizes more than success. It represents growth, persistence, resilience, but more importantly, transformation that fosters inclusivity. These elements that I've mentioned are an expression of confidence and determination. I believe that NEMBA is a global inspiration reminding us that protecting biodiversity is not only an environmental duty, but also future generations of all living beings. Let this recognition be a spark, excuse me, especially as we look ahead to this year's G20 Presidential Summit in South Africa. Let us celebrate this extraordinary achievement alongside all other wonderful policies being recognized today by sharing this confidence and determination. I want to thank everyone involved in NEMBA. Thank you for your confidence and continued determination in restoring and protecting nature. It is a collective effort, inspiring one common path to live in harmony with nature. I thank you.
So, how can embedding traditional knowledge and beliefs influence policymaking to preserve and restore nature and at the same time benefit the people? Our next speaker will reveal this secret, and I'm pretty sure she's inspired as we are. So, please welcome with me Ria Das, an impressive woman. She's a human rights lawyer and an IUCN Young Leader. Currently, she holds the position of the UN Youth Advisor on Environmental and Climate Justice in the Asia-Pacific region. Ria, the floor is yours.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to join you in honoring not only a legal document, but also a visionary commitment, one that combines ancient wisdom with the urgent demands of our time. This is the Biodiversity Act of Bhutan, which is rooted in the country's unique philosophy of gross national happiness. This is more than just a legislation. It is a declaration of harmony between people and nature. In a world that is often driven by economic growth at the expense of nature, Bhutan offers a different path. One where community rights, traditional knowledge, and intergenerational equity are not only protected, but also celebrated. With over 70% forest cover and more than half of its land protected, Bhutan now stands as a living example of what is possible when policy aligns with our purpose. Amended in 2022 to align with the international commitments such as the Nagoya Protocol, the Biodiversity Act has now enhanced mechanisms for enforcement, equity, and inclusive participation. It stands as a powerful example of how law can reflect ethical responsibility and ecological balance. This award not only honors the Biodiversity Act, but it also amplifies its message that true progress is not measured by what we extract, but by what we protect. While we will now see a short video about the policy, I would like to invite Mr. Sonam Wangdi, Chief of Nature Conservation and Division Department of Forest and Park Services under the Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources to join us on stage. We welcome you, sir.
In the heart of the Himalayas, Bhutan has taken a bold step to protect life itself. The Bhutan Biodiversity Act responds to land conversion, overharvesting, and biopiracy in one of the world's most biologically diverse countries. Deeply rooted in Bhutan's Buddhist worldview, the Act formalizes centuries of respect for all life and embraces spiritual principles such as compassion, karma, and interdependence.
Bhutan development is guided by the philosophy of gross national happiness, which measures progress not only in terms of material wealth, but by balancing economic growth with environmental conservation. We value people, nature, and spiritual well-being equally with the economy.
The Act conserves Bhutan's biological and genetic resources. Today, more than half the country's land is protected, and iconic species like the Royal Bengal tiger are recovering. Both traditional knowledge and farmers' and breeders' rights are protected by the Act. And, through equitable benefit sharing, local and indigenous communities are empowered to innovate while improving livelihoods. Bhutan's Biodiversity Act, as a legally grounded and culturally rooted model, supports living in harmony with nature and is well suited for replication in other biodiversity-rich countries.
So, big congrats to Bhutan's Biodiversity Act. And yeah, over to you, Mr. Wangdi.
Thank you. Dear Rio, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply honored to accept the 2025 World Future Policy Award on Living in Harmony with Nature and Future Generations on behalf of the people of Bhutan. This recognition of the Biodiversity Act of Bhutan is not only an honor for our nation, but a celebration of a timeless commitment, a harmony between our visionary monarchs, our government's strong political will, and our people's deep reverence for nature. Bhutan is one of the few countries on earth where environment is not treated as a sector, but as the very foundation of life. Close to 70% of our land remains under forest cover, and more than half of it is protected as national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biological corridors that interconnects these protected areas. These pristine ecosystems, home to tigers, elephants, snow leopards, and red pandas, thrive because of the leadership guided by wisdom and a society rooted in compassion for all beings. Our journey began with the extraordinary vision of His Majesty the Fourth King, Jigme Wangchuk, whose 78th birth anniversary we celebrate this year. His Majesty taught us that gross national happiness and not gross domestic product must be the true measure of progress. Under his leadership, our Constitution enshrined a sacred pledge that at least 60% of Bhutan's land shall remain under forest cover for all times to come. This legacy is carried forward by his son, His Majesty King Jigme, whose vision for a new city based on the principles of gross national happiness, the Gelifu Mindfulness City, embodies a future where prosperity coexists with planetary well-being. The strength of Bhutan's environmental stewardship also lies in its people, our foresters, our farmers, monks, and youth who live each day with a sense of duty towards natural world. We dedicate this award to His Majesty the Fourth King's 70th birth anniversary, and to every Bhutanese citizen who keeps the spirit of conservation alive. Let this moment remind us all that nature does not need us, but we most certainly need nature. May this award inspire all nations to make bold and compassionate choices for a sustainable future. Thank you, Tashidele and Kadin Sheila. Thank you.
As you see, we're speeding across the globe. We've already been on 2 continents. Where will we go next? Let's see. This next particular law is a leading example on how policies and laws can build on and learn from each other. I would like to invite now Natalia Green to join us on stage, and she will explain more about our next winner. Natalia is the Global Director and co-founder of the Global Alliance for the Rights of Nature, and they are at the forefront of influencing and spreading the urgently needed paradigm shift towards Earth jurisprudence. Natalia, over to you.
Thank you so much. Distinguished colleagues and friends, esteemed representatives of the World Future Council, today we celebrate Panama, a true champion for the rights of nature movement, and of course, 3 amazing leaders, visionaries, and friends who have made this possible. His Excellency, Mr. Juan Carlos Navarro, Minister of Environment of Panama, Cali Belenterf from the Leatherback Project and For Nature, and Constanza Prieto from Erlo Center. They have allowed to have Panama become a leading example of how laws and policies can embody a genuine paradigm shift towards Earth jurisprudence. In 2022, Panama made history by passing National Law 287, recognizing that rights of nature have rights, declaring that nature itself, its ecosystems, rivers, and species have the right to exist, persist, and regenerate. This visionary step did not stay on paper. It inspired concrete legal advances, such as the law to protect turtles, ensuring that these ancient beings, to which Cali has dedicated her life, live free from harm. It also led to restrictions on extractive projects, aligning national law with ecological integrity. Through these actions, Panama has shown the world that rights-based environmental governance is not an utopia. It's policy in motion. It's a model where all the well-being of people and planet are no longer separate, no more eco-apartheid, since we are all interdependent, because we are nature. This is what Earth jurisprudence means in practice, reimagining law and pushing its boundaries to reflect the laws of life itself. Thank you for making Panama become this leader, proving that vision can become reality and guiding other nations, organizations, and activists to follow. Across Latin America and beyond, the rights of nature movement is expanding and growing exponentially. From my country, Ecuador, and its constitution, to rivers in Colombia and Peru, from Los Cedros to Panama, we are witnessing a profound shift in consciousness. Let's remember Dr. Jane Goodall's legacy today, and let us celebrate Panama for showing that the Earth has rights, and that by giving Earth rights, humanity has a future. We will now see a short film about the policy, and I invite His Excellency, Mr. Juan Carlos Navarro, or in his name, Mr. Tomás Fernández, Director of Áreas Protegidas and Biodiversity in the Ministry of Environment, Cali Belenterf and Constanza Prieto to join on stage and receive the World Future Policy Award.
In 2020, marine biologist Callie Wielenturf asked a powerful question. What if Panama's nature had rights like people? She joined forces with Congressman Juan Diego Vasquez, just 23 at the time. Together, with support from the Earth Law Center, they drafted a groundbreaking law. Law number 287 recognizes nature as a living being with rights to exist, regenerate, and be restored.
Al reconocer y defender los derechos de la naturaleza, se abre un camino para una protección plena, duradera y sostenible, asegurando el futuro de la naturaleza en sí misma y los derechos de las futuras generaciones.
The law also affirms that indigenous cosmovision and ancestral knowledge must guide how these rights are interpreted and applied.
The law honors indigenous wisdom and invites citizens, businesses, and the government to join in actively protecting the earth.
Panama's Rights of Nature Law 287 has already been used and cited in many major court cases and implementation to the executive. This proves that a new generation of leaders who think differently and how to protect nature are real and are able to change things.
So many pictures. Excellent. Huge congratulations to Panama's Law 287, recognizing the rights of nature and the related obligations of the state with these rights. Over to you for your remarks. I think, I'm not sure now who would like to go first, but you're welcome.
Tenemos traducción para decirlo en español.
Do we have translation available so that I'm able to say it in Spanish? Hello, good evening. First of all, I would like to thank you on behalf of the Minister, Juan Carlos Navarro. It is a commitment to us, and especially for the Minister's team, that we all have gone through a big journey in terms of nature, environment protection, and the natural heritage of our country. With this new tool, as Juan Diego Vasquez was saying previously, we have a way for defending the rights of nature. This is a commitment we have acquired, and we will keep working to achieve it, to be aligned to what the law says, and to provide extra protection for nature, and to bring it out this orphan situation. Thank you, everyone, and on behalf of Panama, thank you again.
The rights of nature this year as a powerful legal framework that can help society find peace and harmony with nature. Panama's Rights of Nature law was inspired by the understanding that rights-based protections can be the strongest when all else has failed. The success stories from Ecuador, Bolivia, and New Zealand, the passion that the Panamanian people hold for the protection of nature, the awe-inspiring biodiversity found within Panama's borders, and an urgent desire to protect it. Thank you and congratulations, Panama. for your visionary leadership, and to all who made the passing of Law 287 possible. We have begun to see how rights of nature laws and Panamas around the world have transformed the way that nature can be protected. This framework and its success stories are my greatest, most tangible sources of hope for nature. Now is a time not to be discouraged by the current state of the planet, but to generate inspiring proposals of an ethical and of a moral nature, like the rights of nature. After all, we are all part of, not separate from Earth's ecosystems, and it's time that our legal systems reflected that interconnectedness. Let the countries of the world unite behind the rights of nature as we work collectively and urgently to bring about this system change for nature, for all life on Earth. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Today we celebrate the law that are shaping the future of humanity. For Panama, the future is already present. In 2021, when we began this journey, it seemed unimaginable, almost impossible. And yet today, it's a living reality. The IUCN was founded on the understanding that the state alone could not solve environmental challenges, that real change required the participation of the whole society. Panama's law on the right of nature is a powerful example of that vision in action. Let's remember, no environmental problem is ever local, it's always global. But national and local initiatives like Panama's can create ripples that transform the world. Together, we are stronger. Together, we create impact for ourselves, for nature, and for future generations. Thank you, Panama, for believing this is possible. Finally, we remain committed to advancing and expanding the right of nature, inspiring change across the world. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next distinguished guest holds the inaugural chair in Sustainable Development Law and Policy at the University of Cambridge. She's the Senior Director of the World-Leading Center for International Sustainable Development Law and very active in the IUCN World Commission on Environmental Law. She will dive with us into the next policy. Please welcome with me founding counselor of the World Future Council and a chair of our World Future Policy Award jury for over a decade, Prof. Dr. Marie-Claire Cardini-Segar. The floor is yours.
Excellencies, honored guests, colleagues, friends and family of nature and justice. As representatives of the World Future Council, we are delighted to be here tonight and feel honored to celebrate with you a transformative legal achievement, the National Environmental Act 2019 of Uganda. This act offers vision, a bold and timely response to the sustainability challenges of our time. With wisdom and foresight, the Act replaces a 1995 law, providing Uganda with a stronger, more inclusive, and forward-looking legal foundation for environmental protection, sustainability, and the rights of nature. Indeed, the Act introduces groundbreaking principles such as rights of nature and a duty to protect ecosystems for both present and future generations, with measures for special conservation areas, for sustainable use and proper management of biodiversity and natural resources, and to address concerns about climate change, hazardous chemicals, petroleum activities, and plastics. It establishes a specialized unit, the Environmental Protection Force, to handle enforcement and compliance, and empowers the National Environmental Management Authority, NEMA, with renewed strength, prioritizing sustainability and equity in the sustainable development of the country. Beyond technical strength and governance, this act reminds us that nature must be respected and heard. Today, as we present this award, we recognize all of the dedicated individuals behind this act, the lawmakers, the advocates, the communities, the youth, and the visionaries who gave it life. The honor is theirs, and through their work, it also belongs to every Ugandan and all of those species and beings in Uganda, now and in the future, who will be raised with protection and respect for nature. Congratulations. While we will now see a short video about this law, I'm delighted to invite His Excellency Ambassador Zake Kibedi to join us on the stage.
Uganda's rich forests, wetlands, and lakes are under pressure. Deforestation, pollution, and climate change threaten ecosystems and the lifelines of millions. The National Environment Act of 2019, replacing the earlier 1995 Act, tackles these growing environmental challenges and legal gaps.
What makes Uganda's National Environment Act notable is that it enshrines the rights of nature and couples them with the right of every citizen to a clean, healthy environment with a clear duty to protect ecosystems for future generations.
The Act strengthens enforcement, empowers local communities, and mandates environmental and social impact assessments. It also addresses transboundary risks such as climate resilience and hazardous chemicals, while promoting the sustainable use of Uganda's forests, lakes, and mountains. Tangible results are emerging: the restoration and expansion of wetlands, enforceable pollution control mechanisms, as well as air quality regulation and greening initiatives. By recognizing nature's intrinsic value and embedding global sustainability principles, Uganda's National Environment Act stands as a role model for inclusive, adaptive, and intergenerational environmental governance.
Maybe move a little bit to me. Yes, that's perfect. Thank you. And yeah, and like this. Even better. Yep. Oh, okay. So, big congrats to Uganda for its National Environment Act. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. The World Future Policy Award 2025, distinguished guests, members of the World Future Council, esteemed colleagues and fellow advocates for our planet. As the ambassador of the Republic of Uganda to the United Arab Emirates, and also permanent representative to the International Renewable Energy Agency, I'm deeply honored to accept and accelerate with you the winner of 2025 World Future Policy Award, Uganda's National Environment Act. What a wonderful milestone and powerful affirmation of the urgent need to align our societies with nature. This act entails a vision, a bold and timely response to environmental pressures by recognizing nature's rights and the duty to protect ecosystems for present and future generations. Uganda's act stands out as a pioneering and forward-looking policy. It's a journey, it's rather long, starting with the 1995 law and its amendment, yet even more wonderful and inspiring as it initiates a cultural shift towards embracing nature. The act ensures that future generations of all life have a seat at the table. It provides generations with a compass, reminding us that nature is to be heard and understood and lived. This is proof that with dedication, anything is possible. Thus, let us take this award recognition as a lesson for all of us, a lesson for Ugandans to work more, meaning that everyone can sit at this table and we all have the future in our hands. We must listen and act for us and for future generations. Today, I want to thank and recognize the many hands and minds behind this act. And also, of course, to appreciate the council and the committee that was able to assess, and as the event, Uganda became a winner. A wonderful achievement, a lesson for all of us. Congratulations, the lovers of nature. Congratulations, Uganda. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now leave the African continent and travel north. Our next winner policy is inspiring and shows that Western legal systems can also learn from indigenous wisdom. It also shows us that every individual can make a difference. I welcome to the stage Ankun Biambadorj, who is an environmental rights advocate from Mongolia, an IUCN Young Leader, and co-founder and executive director of Breathe Mongolia. We look forward to hearing from you, Ankun.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, it is an immense honor to stand before you today to present a decisive achievement in environmental legislation. Spain's Law 19/2022, granting legal personhood to the Mar Menor Lagoon. In a historic move, Spain became the first country in Europe to recognize an ecosystem as a legal entity. This landmark law is much more than a legal reform. It is a transformation in how we relate to nature. By acknowledging the lagoon's right to exist, regenerate, and be defended in court, Spain has begun to shift from a human-centered legal system to one that places ecological justice at its core. What makes this policy so inspiring is not only its bold vision, but the story behind it. It's the result of a movement driven by citizens, scientists, and institutions, united by the unwavering personal commitment of one individual, Professor Maria Teresa Vicente, whose dedication helped turn public demand into legal reality. The law empowers communities, fosters participatory governance, and offers a model of intergenerational responsibility, proving that we can, should, and have a responsibility to give voice to nature. Tonight, we celebrate more than a legal milestone. We honor a pioneering step that shows the world how rights of nature can be embraced and enforced. Congratulations to all who made this visionary law possible.
We will now see a short video about policy, and then we will hear from Professor Maria Teresa Vicente online, as she is unable to join us in person today.
One of Europe's largest coastal lagoons, the Mar Menor, has suffered decades of pollution and mismanagement from agriculture, mining, and mass tourism. Its ecosystem collapsed, with algal blooms suffocating millions of fish. But citizens took action. Guided by legal scholar Teresa Vicente, they launched a people-led initiative gathering over 640,000 signatures to demand protection for the lagoon. In 2022, their fight made history. Spain became the first country in Europe to grant an ecosystem legal personhood. The Mar Menor and its basin now has enforceable rights to exist, to be restored, and to be defended in court.
Se necesita una justicia más amplia que la justicia social, que reconozca la interacción del ser humano con la naturaleza y el valor de esta para ser portadora de derechos.
Now grounded in the Spanish Constitution, Law 19/2022 shows that Western legal systems can accommodate non-human rights without fundamental disruption, offering an inspiring model with real potential for replication. And all this began with one woman's courage to give nature a voice, showing us how vision and determination can spark a paradigm shift for generations to come.
Distinguidos colegas, miembros del Comité del World Future Council y estimados miembros del Congreso de la Unión Internacional para la Conservación de la Naturaleza. Para mí es un gran honor recibir el Premio Mundial de Políticas Futuras 2025 en nombre de la Ley 19/2022 española, que otorgó al Mar Menor la condición de persona jurídica con derechos. Como profesora de Filosofía del Derecho, siempre me ha motivado una pregunta: ¿cómo pueden nuestros sistemas jurídicos reflejar mejor nuestra profunda interdependencia con el mundo natural? La laguna salada más grande de Europa, el Mar Menor, había sufrido décadas de degradación. Los instrumentos jurídicos tradicionales resultaron insuficientes. Reconocer a la laguna como sujeto de derechos no solamente fue innovador, sino también necesario. Sin embargo, este logro no solo fue jurídico, sino también cívico. Miles de ciudadanos y ciudadanas unieron sus voces en una iniciativa legislativa popular para exigir los derechos del Mar Menor. Su defensa nos recuerda que la democracia florece cuando las personas se levantan no solo por sí mismas, sino también por los seres sin voz con los que compartimos nuestro futuro. Hoy, el Mar Menor es el primer ecosistema de Europa con personalidad jurídica y no debe ser el único. Esperamos que nuestra experiencia sirva de inspiración a otras comunidades para que reconozcan los derechos de la naturaleza como un camino hacia la justicia ecológica y los derechos de humanos y no humanos que habitamos este maravilloso planeta. Recibo este premio en nombre del Mar Menor y de todas las personas que con su firma lograron que la propuesta llegara al Congreso, de los políticos que la aprobaron y del Tribunal Constitucional que ha declarado la constitucionalidad de la ley.
And please represent Spain today as the winners for this award.
And the excitement continues, I hope yours too, because now we are delighted to announce another exciting prize winner law from Europe. So please welcome with me the amazing Dr. Katjana Erlük. She's an international diplomat, founding counselor of the World Future Council, and a member of its supervisory board since its inception. So, over to you, Katjana.
Thank you so much. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. First of all, just a personal note. I've been with the World Future Council since 20 years. We've been giving this prize for 14 years. And internally, we call it the Policy Oscars. And I think, to me, really, it's an inspiration. And it's the laws are my Oppenheimer. And I have to say, the people behind are my Brad Pitt. So thank you so much for being here and walking the red carpet together. So it's my honor to introduce another outstanding World Future Policy Award tonight, a new winner, the Tyrolean Environmental Ombuds Office, or we call it in German, the Umweltanwaltschaft, a beacon of environmental stewardship and civic responsibility. This law exists since 1991. At the heart of Tyrol in Austria, this independent institution has served one simple yet profound mission: to give nature a voice. Anchored in strong legal frameworks, the Ombuds Office stands as a bridge between public administration and civic society, ensuring that ecological concerns are not an afterthought, but a foundation. But this policy does more than just enforce regulation. It inspires through youth initiatives, citizen biotopes, and inclusive public outreach. It nurtures a cultural and emotional connection with the natural world, fostering not only protection, but also participation. This is transparent, trusted, and transformative, demonstrating that biodiversity, public engagement, and legal integrity can harmonize into lasting environmental guardianship. It also offers a robust, transferable model for other subnational governance contexts. Tonight, we honor the Tyrolean Environmental Ombuds Office for providing that a sustainable future is not only possible, it is already happening. It is an inspiring and scalable model. Congratulations to the law and to the people behind. So whilst we are now seeing a short video about the policy, I'd like to actually invite two other Austrian representatives here. Where are they? There you are, please come. Mrs. Agnes Erler from the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, Climate and Environmental Protection, Regions and Water Management, and Mrs. Diana Garzlitzka, the cooperation partner of the Tyrolean Environmental Ombuds Office at IUCN. Please join us on stage.
In Tyrol, Austria, nature has a voice through the environmental ombudsperson. Independent and trusted, this institution represents nature in environmental impact assessments and construction projects. The Ombuds Office ensures that every intervention into nature respects the environment and ecosystems. They bring stakeholders to the table and work on the ground to balance interests.
Die Tiroler Umweltanwaltschaft hat ein Klagsrecht für die Natur. Über dieses Recht hinaus bestreben wir, eine innere Verbindung der Menschen mit der Natur zu stärken, für eine Fürsorge, für einen Respekt, für ein Miteinander, für alles Leben und für die künftigen Generationen.
From fostering traditional farming to preserving landscapes, encouraging youth engagement, and promoting sustainable tourism, this visionary institution shows how humans and nature can truly thrive together. In Tyrol, Austria, nature has a voice through the environmental ombudsperson. Independent and trusted, this institution represents nature in environmental impact assessments and construction projects. The Ombuds Office ensures that every intervention into nature respects the environment and ecosystems. They bring stakeholders to the table and work on the ground to balance interests.
Die Tiroler Umweltanwaltschaft hat ein Klagsrecht für die Natur. Über dieses Recht hinaus bestreben wir, eine innere Verbindung der Menschen mit der Natur zu stärken, für eine Fürsorge, für einen Respekt, für ein Miteinander, für alles Leben und für die künftigen Generationen.
From fostering traditional farming to preserving landscapes, encouraging youth engagement, and promoting sustainable tourism,
this visionary institution shows how humans and nature can truly thrive together.
Yes, so as I said, unfortunately, the ombudsperson himself can't be here tonight, so we will listen to a short acceptance speech by him online.
My name is Johannes Kostenzer. It is with deep gratitude that I accept the World Future Policy Award. Thank you. On behalf of the Environmental Ombuds Office of Tyrol, on behalf of the client we serve, nature, Through our office, nature has a voice by law. When construction projects are planned, we speak for birds, for trees, and riverbeds. On their behalf, we can file complaints. Because we can go to court does not mean we do. Rather, we act as local diplomats. We talk to builders and planners, we meet them, we listen. And avoiding excavator teeth digging into precious alpine soil, far from the courtroom, right at the ski lift or the mountain lake, do we find ways forward that are good for all, for human and non-human life. I am so proud that we win this award. It gives us hope and courage to carry on, to be out in the field, to know the land, engage farmers and citizens, to empower the young, and use our legal tool to foster care and compromise.
So it's really great that you both are here, and yeah, feel free to, I will hand it over to you.
Thank you. Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear ladies and gentlemen, as a Tyrolean, I'm truly honored, and it's a privilege to stand here tonight to formally accept this award on behalf of the Environmental Ombuds Office of Tyrol. Austria, my country, is in the fortunate position of being home to attractive landscapes and a rich biodiversity. This comes with a great responsibility towards ecosystems and natural habitats. The awards reflect the Environmental Ombuds Office's engagement and exceptional contribution to the needs of nature. I wish to extend my deepest thanks to the World Future Council, IUCN, and the Interparliamentary Union for recognizing the achievements of the Environmental Ombuds Office of Tyrol. And my special thanks goes to Johannes Kostenzer, who we have seen on video, and his team for protecting our nature. Thank you.
Indeed, it is a great pleasure to be here to represent and receive the award in support of a great colleague, someone I look up to and absolutely admire, a person who is known for his work representing as an ombudsman, Environmental Ombuds Office of Tyrol, Theo, in the legal work in citizen science and science policy work, the culture and educational efforts of the office. That is also the reason why he's not here leading and organizing these days Innsbruck Nature Film Festival. And me observing him as a younger colleague and someone who's in complete awe of the achievements and the erudition, outstanding advances in the work as a professional in so many different fields, as I said, legal to advocacy to communications and culture, is a great honor to really be here and receive the award on his behalf. Thank you for organizing it and for really awarding the beautiful work and important work of great people in the network. Thank you.
So much to celebrate tonight. There are moments, of course, that are once in a generation, and then there are others which connect an intergenerational voyage in which we deepen our meaningful relationship with Mother Earth and learn to understand that relationship better. I think we are witnessing some of the people making that possible here tonight. Our Vision Award winner will be presented by Michelle Bender. She's a leading expert in the movement towards recognizing oceans' rights, the application of the rights of nature in the ocean policy seascape. She's the head of ocean rights. She's the head of Ocean Rights Department at the Ocean Vision Legal. So please join me to welcome Michelle.
Thank you. Distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to announce that the World Future Policy Vision Award goes to the 2023 Agreement on the Conservation and Sustainable Use of Marine Biological Diversity of Areas Beyond National Jurisdiction, known as the BB&J Agreement. This is one of the most groundbreaking achievements in international environmental governance. And what's more, just a few weeks ago, the treaty was ratified by its minimum number of 60 states, triggering its entry into force January 2026. This number has now surpassed 70 states and continues to grow. This is monumental for all of those who have worked so hard on this for over 20 years. Covering nearly 2/3 of the planet, the high seas have long existed beyond the reach of effective governance. Building upon the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, this agreement closes a crucial gap in ocean law. It establishes mechanisms for creating marine protected areas, fair access and benefit sharing of marine genetic resources, and promotes scientific and technological cooperation among all nations. What makes the BB&J exceptionally remarkable is not only its legal innovation, but its moral vision. It is founded on equity, cooperation, and stewardship, seeking to conserve the inherent value of marine biodiversity and maintain the ocean's ecological integrity. And it affirms intergenerational responsibility, ensuring that the richness of marine life we enjoy today will be preserved for all living beings in the future. While the journey ahead from ratification to implementation will require determination and global solidarity, the BB&J agreement already stands as a milestone in multilateral diplomacy. It catalyzes a transformation in our relationship with the ocean from one of exploitation to one of care. This policy has rightfully won the World Future Policy Vision Award. Today, as we honor this achievement, we celebrate not only a treaty, but a promise to protect the blue heart and life-supporting system of our planet for present and future generations of all life. Now, while we turn to see a short video about this policy, I invite Minna Epps to join us on stage. Minna is the Executive Director of the BB&J High Ambition Coalition and the IUCN's Global Ocean Policy Director, our ocean champion, and my friend supporting states in the process.
The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet, 2/3 of which lie outside national jurisdictions. The ocean produces much of the oxygen we breathe, regulates our climate, and provides food and livelihoods for billions of people. But this fragile ecosystem faces growing threats, from overfishing to pollution and deep-sea mining. Until recently, they had little protection. Ratified in September 2025, the world responded with the BB&J Agreement, the first global treaty to safeguard life in the high seas. The Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Agreement under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or BB&J Agreement, creates marine protected areas, requires environmental assessments, promotes fair sharing of ocean genetic resources, and strengthens global cooperation.
Above all, this landmark agreement recognizes our collective responsibility to act as stewards of the ocean for present and future generations, shifting our focus from exploitation to planetary guardianship.
Congratulations.
Oh, one more. Super. Congratulations again. We look forward to hearing from you now. Minna, thank you.
See how I put this. Excellencies, colleagues, and friends, thank you very much to the World Future Council and as well to Ocean Vision Legal, Michelle Bender. It is an honor to accept the World Future Policy Award on behalf of the BB&J High Ambition Coalition. This award is not just a recognition of a treaty, it is a recognition of a promise the world has made to protect half of our planet, the high seas for life, for all life on Earth. The treaty was chosen from more than 40 nominations reviewed by many experts across many sectors. This recognition underlines what we already know. The High Seas Treaty is not just an historic agreement, it is a visionary one. But a treaty on paper is not enough, and our job is now to make it real, to make it work on the water. That means creating marine protected areas that are fit for purpose. It means environmental impact assessments that are robust and science-based. It means protecting biodiversity, sharing resources equitably, and delivering real benefits for people, nature, and climate. The High Ambition Coalition brings together more than 50 countries to chair, which is co-chaired by the EU, Palau, and Seychelles, with the support from IUCN, and we're very proud to act as the secretariat. Together, we're pushing ambitious implementation of the High Seas Treaty. The BB&J High Ambition Coalition is a state-led coalition, and we're there to support, and is there to galvanize political support beyond the 60 to reach that implementation. So this award really comes at a crucial moment. More than 70 countries have already ratified the treaty, 74 countries plus the EU to be precise. And that means the treaty will officially enter into force on the 17th of January, 2026. That is a real momentum, but our work is far from done. We must keep building consensus, keep raising ambition, and keep ensuring that the BB&J agreement, again, is not just words on paper, but a powerful guardian of our high seas. So with this, I not only want to thank you, I want to leave you with a video messages from no one else than the president of the first country that ratified the BB&J agreement, the big ocean state of Palau. So we'll turn it over to President Blitz, who left yesterday. Thank you.
It's truly wonderful to be here in the UAE at this IUCN World Congress, and to be recognized as the importance of oceans. As we, the first country to ratify the BB&J, and now 75 countries have ratified, and of course we crossed that line at the UNGA. The drive and the implementation now begins. And so being here and receiving this award on behalf of the HAC, the World Vision Policy Award, is really just a demonstration of a recognition of how important it is to protect half of the planet, which is what the BB&J is. And it requires all of us working together to ensure that our oceans are healthy, and that ensures that our planet is healthy. So, thank you on behalf of the HAC for the recognition, and it's really it's going to take all of us to ensure that this treaty is fully implemented.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all part of the river is us. Grandmother Pauline asked for blessing from Te Atua, and later in the video she says, wherever we are, we must look much deeper, just as the people on the Wanganui River have done. This is exactly what the World Future Policy is, looking much deeper, highlighting exceptional future just policy solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, today we honor a globally trailblazing act of vision, justice, and indigenous leadership, Te Awa Tupua. It is a special honor and pleasure to deliver the laudatory speech for this very special policy. I recall as a member of the independent international jury, how the jury unanimously decided that this policy deserves special recognition, the birth of the Global Impact Award. This landmark legislation redefines the relationship between people and nature by recognizing the Wanganui River and Atoria, New Zealand, not as a resource, but as a living, indivisible being with its own rights, responsibilities, and dignity. More than a law, Te Awa Tupua is a sacred acknowledgement of ancestral connection, co-governance, intergenerational responsibility. It restores the Kaitia Ki Tanga, guardianship, of the Wanganui Iwi, whose worldview sees humans not as masters of nature, but as a part of it. At a time when the world faces an ecological reckoning, Te Awa Tupua leads the way, not by imposing control, but by embedding Tikanga Maori indigenous values into national law. It bridges Western and indigenous systems through a unique governance model, Tapu Tupua, symbolizing a shared duty between Crown and Iwi, between state and spirit. This legislation does more than settle historical injustices. It pioneers a new path, one where rivers have voices, where laws speak the language of the land, and where community, not just law, safeguards the sacred. It has inspired movements far beyond New Zealand's shores, becoming a beacon for Indigenous rights and environmental stewardship globally. For its visionary contribution to justice, ecology, and Indigenous sovereignty, we proudly celebrate Te Awa Tupua with the Global Impact Award. While we will now see a short video about the policy, I invite my friend, Roha de Pareake Mead, to join us on the stage.
E rere kau mai te awa nui mai te kāhui manga ki Tangaroa. Ko au te awa, ko te awa ko au.
In Aotearoa, New Zealand, the sacred Wanganui River, Te Awa Tupua, is not just a body of water. It is a living being that sustains life and holds deep spiritual significance. This is expressed in Tupua Te Kawa, the Maori natural law and value system that honors the relationship between Wanganui Iwi and the river. Maori see themselves as part of nature, not above it. For generations, Wanganui Iwi fought for this recognition. In 2017, history was made. The Te Awa Tupua Act granted the river legal personhood, the first of its kind in the world. It recognized the river as an indivisible, living entity with its own rights, affirming its mana, its authority and dignity. The law restored Kaitiaki Tanga, or indigenous guardianship, embedding values that guide future-oriented environmental governance. It also created the dual office of Te Pou Tupua, an innovative model of co-governance between Maori and the Crown. The act is transformative, shifting the paradigm from Western frameworks that separate people from nature to an indigenous worldview where people are part of nature and carry a duty of care. Its impact has reached far beyond New Zealand, inspiring movements from Colombia to Spain and Panama, sparking a new wave of laws that recognize the rights of rivers, forests, and entire ecosystems. The Te Awa Tupua Act showed the world that integrating indigenous worldviews and values of stewardship into law is possible and inspiring.
Dame Tariana Ture would be so delighted. And we asked for the blessing, her words, when she presented this to Parliament many years ago. So now we have an example of what the Aotearoa can make us do if we listen to him at all times. Aki aki ana amane.
Perfect. So we also received an acceptance speech from Gerard Albert, Wanganui Iwi leader and former chair of Nia Tangata Tiaki o Wanganui. And we are also happy to share with you.
Tēnā koutou. Greetings to one and all gathered in Abu Dhabi for the World Future Council Awards. I am humbled to accept on behalf of the peoples of the Wanganui River the Global Impact Award. My message this evening is this. We have achieved a change at law in Aotearoa, New Zealand, but the law itself will not achieve what we need it to. It is only by winning the hearts and minds of people, of the public, and achieving social cohesion towards a common goal will we achieve what we need to. The law is a start, but the people will always have the power to make change. I wish everyone the best for future endeavours, and I acknowledge and thank you for your work globally to provide a better environment for all the people and a better future for our planet. Tēnā koutou, tēnā no tātou. Greetings again to one and all.
Yeah, Katie, that's for you.
Distinguished guests, Your Excellencies, tēnā koutou katoa. Ko aroha te pareake me ahau, he urio no Ngāti Awa, Ngāti Porou, Ngai Tūhoi, Ngāti Tūwharetoa, Tūhorangi. Tēnā koutou katoa. My name is Aroha Mead. I'm a descendant of the tribes of Ngāti Awa, Ngāti Porou, Tūhorangi, Tūhoi, and Ngāti Tūwharetoa. And I'm here at the Congress, and I was asked by Gerard to be here to physically uplift and return to the iwi of Wanganui this amazing award. This award, as the video has shown you, has come from a 100-year struggle of the people of Wanganui to be reconnected to their river. It's the act, if you have a chance to read it, I actually recommend that you read it. I would normally not recommend reading a piece of legislation, but this one is poetry. This is the most beautiful act you will ever read. It has 106 sections, but the beauty of it is that it's weaving customary law, tikanga, which is our protocols, mātaranga, our knowledge, our value system throughout the entire act. It's not in one section, it's throughout. And what it has done is transformed the way we think about the possibility of law, because that hasn't always been friendly to Māori or to Indigenous peoples. So to see a piece of legislation that actually reflects a people accurately is quite an astounding thing. We, in 2014, so 3 years before this law, there was another Te Urewera Treaty Claim Settlement Act, which gave legal personhood to a region. It was formerly a national park, which was delisted and returned to the people. And then this year, we recognised the Taranaki Mountain for legal personhood as well. So it is clearly showing a trend. But I just want to thank the Council very much for recognising the incredible effort of the iwi of Wanganui. Thank you. Kia ora.
So beautiful and unexpected. That is truly gorgeous. I love that. I'm a little bit teared because that felt good in our hearts. And I think Augustina and I, we feel also quite privileged tonight to have been able to help guide us all through what I feel was an uplifting evening. We had nothing but good news here tonight, helping us to pave a path forward across continents that will lead to the rights of nature and future generations being ensconced more deeply in laws going forward. And to deliver some closing remarks, I'm very happy to ask Nishan again to the stage for a few closing remarks. And you let me know if you've brought a wonderful guest with you or not.
Thank you, Lena. And incredibly, I have not one, but two wonderful guests. But first, I want to introduce and welcome on stage Vice President of the International Union of Conservation of Nature, Iman Miliani, who's here. And a wonderful figure that needs very little introduction before I hand over to Iman to say a few words is the Executive Director of the Earth Law Center, Grant Wilson. So Iman, if I could ask you to hold on for a few minutes, 1 minute actually, but have Grant come on stage and to share with us some thoughts on where we are heading on rights of nature.
Thank you, Excellencies, colleagues, and friends. First, I ask that we briefly suspend decorum and give just a thunderous round of applause to all the award winners. Can I do that? Okay. Today's ceremony is a great day for justice, for the natural world. If human societies are truly to live in harmony with nature, our laws must be harmonized with nature as well, because where the law goes, society follows. Next week, I hope to have another great day. In fact, there are 5 proposed motions at the IUCN that incorporate the rights of nature for Antarctica, for the ocean, for wildlife, for landscapes, and for life-giving rivers and waters. Now, some people are calling these 5 motions the Fab Five. I heard it in the hallways. I didn't come up with it. But these are just one group of many other ecocentric motions and those that promote harmony with nature. And I think it's a bellwether of a new status quo to come. And because this is the World Future Policy Awards, of course, I must ask, what is next? And when I reflect on the last 10 years, I marvel at how far we've come with the rights of nature and harmony with nature movements against all odds, thanks to the collective work of thousands of dedicated individuals. And when I look a decade ahead, I think we have to aim even higher. I imagine dozens of national rights of nature laws like Panama's coming into effect, and maybe a few regional treaties as well. I imagine the appointment of legal guardians for rivers and mountains and nature itself all across the world. And maybe even at some point, I imagine an amendment to the United Nations Charter to put nature at its core. Beyond the rights of nature, there are countless law and policy innovations we're very grateful to hear of tonight. The rights of future generations, the intrinsic value of nature, environmental ombudspersons, on and on. We are at the beginning of a global rewilding of the legal system, and it is a great honor to celebrate this progress with everyone here tonight. And today's winners, thank you so much. We are truly grateful, and you inspire the entire world. To everyone here, we have a lot of work to do, and we are not going to let up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Grant. Ima.
I think the last thing people need now is another speech, but let me just read a quick note and not to be making mistakes. It really has been a pleasure for IUCN to be partnering with the World Future Council and the Interparliamentary Union in this journey of the World Future Policy Award 2025, dedicated to living in harmony with nature and future generation. I was here, I think I've only missed the very first awards. I was really inspired by the diversity of them all. This is where I take my iPad off. And in working in policy, I know how long it takes to have these successes. And I'm sure that the winners have had a village behind them to deliver that, years and perhaps even decades. And in conservation, with all the challenges that we have, we really need to celebrate successes. So congratulations on having these awards, and congratulations to all the awardees for all your hard work. As I was listening and I was chatting with Professor Christopher Dunn, I'm like, you know, all of these categories, I think we need one on climate change and one on synergies between climate and nature. Because while we say synergies, we're not very clear as what it does or what exactly it means. And so I look forward to perhaps seeing some innovations in the work, in the legal work and policy work on that. The next chapter in IUCN's journey in the 20-year strategy opens a lot of doors for new innovations, and we're very excited to continue this journey with all of you. I'm really impressed to see many of IUCN in IUCN's family amongst the awardees. I think many of you would be belonging to some of the commissions. Particularly impressed to see Mina. Not sure if she left. I just wanted to say congrats, and Aroha, whom I know for various years. So this is really great and a great way to end my day today. Thank you all, and good luck. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Iman. Ladies and gentlemen, as Mina said, we have a promise to each other and to the natural environment. And with that promise are the incredible people who made this possible. While immediately I thank the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, the Interparliamentary Union, Dr. Michael Otto Foundation, who's enabled this event and the process that followed it. But I fail in my duty if I do not recognize these individuals. Because of time, I'm going to ask them all to please stand. Beginning with Samia Kasid, who's leading on the World Future Policy Award. The wonderful ladies and the moderators this evening, Lena Dente, could you please come to the middle, and Augustina Schick, also was part of the research throughout the last 1.5 years. And then we had the incredible work and support from dear friends and mentors who are also our spiritual guides, and they're already here, and we connect a wider group. And I also want to invite the storytellers behind the work we have. Miriam Peterson, could you please come up? And she mentioned she's been part of the journey from the very beginning and before. Katiana Oluk, could I please have you also join us, also counselor? And Marie-Claire Coronia Seger, who's counselor, also founding counselor. These people inspire the conversation. Then we have friends who I'm truly indebted to them to connect this. But first and foremost, a round of applause to this wonderful team that has been guiding work throughout. Thank you very much. And may I please ask my dear friend, Katie Guisdon, please to join us on the stage. Christopher Dunn to join us on stage, and along with them, all the wonderful award winners, the scientists, the lawyers, the civil society leaders who are all here and making it such an honor to be part of this journey, which is going to change the world, as we mentioned throughout the evening today. Can I invite all the award winners to come forward? Okay, I'm not going to mention names. Can I have all the
Winners.
Ma'am, can I have the team from South Africa? Please come on and join us on the stage. All the award winners means every single person who contributed to it. We might have two legs.
Oh, I forgot to bring mine. I didn't bring mine.
What? Come to the middle. Grant, don't be a stranger. Can we have the...
Is it too long?
Can we have the Japanese delegation please come up? Can we have the Japanese delegation? Could we please have the Japanese delegation?
Everybody come.
Everybody, please.
Oh, it cuts off here. Oh, thank you.
Can I have Dana Ahmad also on the stage? Dana?
Oh. Oh.
Please.
If I could lay down, I would, but I can't.
Is that everybody? One more, hold on, please. One more. So hold on. And whilst we stand here, I of course have to mention that the words of late Judge Christopher Veeramantri, my guru and founding counselor and former vice president of the International Court of Justice, who said the law is a tool for universalism, bringing the wisdom of all civilizations together for change. And that's the power we have to connect with Mother Nature in the wisdom that is available to us. So
Nishan, I chaired that commission with Judge Veeramantri, and I remember some counselors saying we need to name and shame the bad laws. And instead we said, why don't we celebrate the beautiful ones? Why don't we inspire ourselves instead? And we drafted the Future Justice Principles, and we began this journey with the judge, and he's still here with us tonight.
Thank you, Marie-Claire. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us. See you soon.
Thank you very much for being here. It was a pleasure. I saw you in the back. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Say, okay. I'll email you. Okay. It's okay. Thank you so much.